Today's video is going to be a day in the life of a mum whose baby does not sleep. It was one of those nights last night. I'm laughing because otherwise I'll cry, and at the fact that Marnie is now 15 months old and she still has never slept through. She's such a monkey. I think, to be fair, she has a molar coming through at the moment, which is preventing her from wanting to sleep through. But oh my God, I'm so tired. So I'm just gonna do a little day in the life of, yeah, how I get by with a very disturbed night's sleep, which, to be honest, is completely the same as any other day. Nothing is any different really, but I just fancy doing a day in the life today, so that is what I'm going to do. I've just got back from the school run. I'm actually really hot, so if I've got a bit of a sweat on, I do apologise, and that is why. It's really warm today. It's one of those days where it looks chilly, but it's actually really muggy and warm, so I might take off the cardi, and I've still got all the tidying up from breakfast to do. I had to dash out first thing this morning because Merrin was going off on a school trip, and I like to be there to wave to the bus because, you know, when you start something and it becomes a little thing that you do and then you can't ever not do it because they'll be upset that you haven't done it. So that's where I've been this morning. Marnie and I have also been for our little morning walk. Marnie has now fallen asleep in the pram, so now is my chance to tidy up after breakfast, make any of the beds that I haven't yet made. What else did I want to do? I want to have a mountain, literally a mountain of washing to put away on Merrin's floor. So I might chat to you while I'm doing that actually.
Fast asleep, hopefully for at least an hour, given that she didn't sleep last night.
Send help. So I'm going to tackle my giant pile of washing and stuff to put away and chat to you at the same time because I have a feeling I might be here a while. I've literally dumped it all in the middle of the room in a big pile because if I neatly fold it, I have a tendency to then just leave it folded neatly in the room because in my head I've done the washing and folded it all up and I don't actually put it away straight away, which drives me mad. I'm also very aware that I'm folding my pants on the internet. That's weird. Perhaps I'll move on to pajamas. But if I dump it all in the middle of the room and it's a big mess, then it forces me to sort it out. So yeah, that's the thinking behind that. So I thought I would chat to you about sleep, or lack of, because I wouldn't say it's getting to me because I feel like I'm used to it now because she has never really slept through. And Aiden was a bit similar. It kind of occurred to me that I don't think Aiden really slept through either. I was trying to think back because I think you remember it the way you want to remember it when you're looking back. And actually, if I'm honest with myself and really think about it, Aiden used to be in our bed a lot. Like, he would wake up probably around the same time as Marnie, which is around midnight, and I would then bring him into our bed and then he would stay in there for the rest of the night, and he did that for a long time. So I don't think that she is any worse than he was, to be honest, and possibly the other two as well. It's just, it's so long ago I can't really remember. So it doesn't bother me in the sense that I feel like I've got to do something about it. I'm the kind of person who I'll just deal with it while it's happening, and I know it's a phase and it'll pass and she won't still be, hopefully, 4 and, you know, waking up 4 or 5 times a night. And some nights it is only once, maybe twice, and she goes back quite quickly. But because she's recently had her jabs and she had a molar coming through as well, I just think it's been a bad week. So I'm feeling it a little bit more than normal. Normally I just kind of get on with it and it's fine, I'm used to it. I actually went onto the Channel Mum support group forum thing this morning to have a read. I didn't get around to putting a post up yet, but I intend to, just to see if anyone's got any words of wisdom that they want to share with me. Oh, I've given the wrong pants to Dylan's pile. Hang on, bear with me. I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing, that's better. So yeah, I just thought I would pop on there and see, not for any advice really, I suppose, because I don't think I can do anything much differently to what I'm already doing, but just for a bit of solidarity, just to like chat to other mums who are having the same issue. I follow 1 or 2 people on Instagram who I know have similar age babies to me, and I know are having similar issues. So it's just nice to know, isn't it, that you're not on your own, and that you're not doing everything wrong, and that everybody else's baby is sleeping through perfectly from like 7 till 7, and you're the only one that's got a little monkey that prefers to sleep in your bed and jam a big toe up my nose. And that's the thing, if she at least slept in one place it wouldn't be so bad, but she's a bit of a wriggler, so that doesn't help matters either. One thing we have made progress on though is getting her down at night time. We went through a stage, I would say maybe 3 or 4 months ago, where it was a nightmare. It had got so bad that I would push her round in her pram to get her off to sleep at night because she just wouldn't settle. She'd either fall asleep when I was feeding her and then not transfer into her cot, or she just would fidget and get up and down. It was not long after she learned to walk, actually, thinking about it, so that makes sense, but she would just be up and down and pulling herself up to stand and then lying back down again, and I couldn't leave the room. She would just wail, and she didn't just cry for 5 minutes and then drop off. She'd still be going half an hour later if I left her to it. So that was a really tricky couple of months, and it was actually some advice from, or I had a chat to my friend Rebecca, Mrs. Meldrum, at an event that we were at, and she mentioned a sleep training lady that she had been talking to that had helped her with Poppy. So I followed some similar methods to get her actually off to sleep at night, and that has really worked. So I'm really pleased with that, because that did bother me, the fact that she wouldn't actually go off to sleep in the first place, and I found that I was spending half an hour at least if not an hour, just getting her off to bed at night, and that wasn't fair on the others because I didn't have time to go in and see them or spend any time with them before they went off to bed. Yeah, that was really tough. I didn't enjoy that at all, and I can't remember the others being that bad for that. Well, actually Dylan was, probably, but he was my only baby at the time, so it didn't matter so much if I had to lie with him for half an hour to an hour stroking his back every night, because at the time I didn't have anyone else to like miss out on saying goodnight to. So yes, that problem is solved. See what I mean? It's all a phase, isn't it? You have to just kind of ride some things out. But I would still love to hear from you if you have babies that just don't like to sleep through the entire night. I feel like she's nosy and she doesn't want to miss anything, and that is a lot of the problem. But like I mentioned earlier, it is always worth having a look on the Channel Mum support group if you're having a bit of a crap time of it with sleep or with anything else mum life related, weaning, potty training, all of the biggies. The resident health visitor there, Maggie, is absolutely lovely, and she's helped me on a few different things with some really great advice. So definitely go and check that out if that sounds something of interest to you. I'm going to stop moaning now because it's probably not much fun for you, and get on with this. You're in a cupboard, so it's the most unflattering light known to man, so apologies for that. But I've decided, because I'm exhausted, I'm going to sort out dinner now using my slow cooker, which, if you've seen my recent favourites video, which I'll link for you, you'll know that I'm currently obsessed with my slow cooker. I've never used one until very recently, and now it's just a great invention. So I'm just going to quickly bung a load of things into my slow cooker. I'll show you in a second what recipe I'm going to be making. It's a shredded Mexican chicken like thing, which I'm hoping to make enchiladas or burritos or something. I'll show you the recipe quickly on my phone. Here we go. Is that going to show you? There you go. It is this slow cooker shredded Mexican chicken on a website called Carlsbad Cravings. And it looks really easy. All I have to do before bunging it all in the slow cooker is brown the chicken breasts, which is a step that I hadn't counted on, but I'm in too deep now. I've got to do it. I was wrong, I don't have to brown them beforehand, so that's really good news. I'm just going to chuck them in the slow cooker. It just keeps getting better and better, this slow cooker thing. I've gone a bit off-piste and decided to improvise a little bit, and I'm going to stick in, well, this was actually in the recipe, so that's a fib. This is the one I'm improvising with. The recipe doesn't actually call for any chili beans, and I know it's not technically a chili, but I happen to have these in the cupboard left over from camping, and I thought they'd be a nice addition to a Mexican chicken dish, so I'm going to bung them in. I was supposed to put in a tin of tomatoes, but because this is in a sauce, I think I'm just going to go for these, I think. It says try them baked in enchiladas, so I can't go horribly wrong, I wouldn't have thought. And I also, instead of doing all the spices individually like the recipe suggests, I'm going to put this in because it's half a packet that needs to be used up. So I'll do that instead of the spices in the recipe. Basically, I'm making up my own recipe, but fingers crossed it'll be nice and it'll save me from having to cook anything later this evening. There you go, dinner done. Someone's awake from her... Oh, someone's cross about being awake from her nap. Do you want your lunch? You ready for lunch? She's not tolerating this camera business. She wants lunch ASAP. I know. I know. So she has some hummus on these dippy veggie sticks, some cubes of cheese, some shredded ham, some sweet corn and strawberries. Here it is. Let's put your bib on first. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Put this on. I know, I know. Let me at it. Let me at that lunch. Here we go. I know. Here it comes. There we go. Yeah. What are you going to go for first? Oh, cheese. Give me the cheese. Should we put Mickey Mouse back on? Wind it back again. Pull, pull, clap, clap, clap. Yay! Point to the ceiling. Good girl. Zoop. Zoop. Boing. Boing. Is that fun? It is nearly time to get the guys from school, unbelievably. We've been playing. I'm gonna have to keep doing the boing, am I? Okay, am I? God, I'm falling down. Ready? You say boing! Ready, steady, boing. I'll talk and do this at the same time. So it's nearly time to get the guys from school, unbelievably, after playing and having lunch and stuff like that. So I've got about half an hour. So I'm gonna tidy up. God, you've made a mess. Mwah! And then head off and go and get Dylan. I'm picking up Dylan today, now that he's in a separate school. It's not one school run, it's two, and I can't do them both in the time that I need to be able to get to them all on time, if that makes sense. So Dan does one and I do the other, which I'm very lucky that Dan is around, that he can do that. But, because he works for himself, so he can kind of take time to do that. But as Dylan gets a little bit more confident and a little bit older, I'm thinking he will probably walk home from school with a friend, and then I can get the younger two from the primary school, so that's the plan. But for today it's raining, so I'm going to go and get Dylan in the car, and hopefully Dan will go and get the others. And yeah, there she is. And tonight we only have one after school club for Merrin, and that is guides, and that's not until 6:15, so it's not too much of a rush after school today, which is really good. You know, there's just bits and pieces around the house that are bugging you that I haven't put away and things like that. I know, they've been bugging you too, so we've been sorting those out. And now, me and Grumpy Kettle over here have got to go and get Dylan. Should we go and get him now? Where's Dylan? Where's Dylan? Where's Dylan? You want to play with Dylan? Should we go get him? Come on then, feel free to fall asleep on the way there in the car. That wouldn't be a bad thing. Okay? Good. Okay.
Welcome to the O2 messaging service.
We just arrived at school to get Dylan and had a phone call from Dylan to say that he has auditions for the school play after school. So we don't have a Dylan, do we, Marnie? So we just arrived back home. We'll have to go back out and get him when he rings. So Dan will be home with the other two shortly. Then what was just going to be one trip out to take Merrin to Guides is now going to be 2 trips out to get Dylan again with all the kids, and then take Merrin to Guides probably about half an hour after that. Look how good this looks. It's been in there for 5 hours and I've just shredded it with 2 forks. So it looks so good and it smells incredible. So I'm going to add some more sweet corn to it, I think, and then leave it in there till we're ready to eat. But that, as long as it tastes nice, is probably one of my favourite slow cooker recipes I've made so far. It was the easiest one as well. So I've made barburrito style burritos for the kids for tea out of the chili chicken, and this is Dylan's favourite meal, so he should be pleased. So we finally got someone home from school. How's your day?
Good.
Auditions go well? Look who's home. Light of my life.
Been home for ages.
It's a couple of hours later now. Merrin is at Guides and I've just got the baby off to sleep. The boys are chilling out in the lounge and Dan and I are about to eat. I've made our chili, like Mexican chicken, into enchiladas because Dan prefers enchiladas to burritos. So I'm just boiling up some rice and we're going to be having that. As predicted, I'm now feeling really exhausted and I'm so pleased that I did the food earlier on today rather than having to cook it all from scratch now, so I'm chuffed about that. And I think I'm going to have an early night. I could do with just lying in bed, watching the Kardashians on my iPad and perhaps falling asleep by 9:30. That's so rock and roll, isn't it? But I've still got to get Merrin from Guides at 8:30. So can't get into my pyjamas just yet, but I'm looking forward to food. I'm so hungry.
To make sure the line worked without a hitch. Yes.